Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Everything 414 Podcast. I'm the host, Carnage Slaughter. Y'all already know what up with me. You feel me? Just when you thought you heard it all, when it comes to magic, when it comes to aliens, when it comes to UAPs, when it comes to interdimensional beings, I have a book for you guys. Yes, chat family, I have a book for you guys that we are finna go over. But before we do that, I need you to hit that like button right now. Hit that subscribe button right this very second. And let's dive into this video. If you blaze, then blaze up. If you drink, power up. Whatever the hell you do, do it. But let's dive into this video. No further more delay, gang. Let's get into it.
Talk to you about a book that I haven't read for almost 20 years, written by a man that I would advise you stay away from. The book's called Magic by Aleister Crowley, and it's genuinely one of the most dangerous books ever written. Not because of anything occult or forbidden, in the way the word suggests, and not because reading it will summon something into your life that you can't get rid of. It's dangerous because it's true. Crowley understood how reality responds to the mind with more clarity than anybody in history, and then he chose to use that understanding in a way that should serve as a warning to us all. Now, I've thought about whether I should make this video for a long time. It's not the usual territory for our channel, and by no means do I want to glorify the man or the path that he walked. But the warning sitting inside his story is too important to leave alone, and once you see it, it changes how you handle your own mind. So by the end of this video, you'll understand what Crowley understood, why what he grasps doesn't care whether you're a good or bad person, and why that should change the way you pay attention to your own thoughts from today onward. Just stay with me till the end, because the most important part, the part that protects you, comes last. Okay, so let's start with the man. I think it's important to know who we're dealing with for any of this to hit home. Crowley was born in 1875 to a strict, devoutly religious English family. The kind of household where every pleasure was suspect and every rule was God's rule, and he spent the rest of his life becoming the precise thing they feared most. The press called him the wickedest man in the world, and he wore that title like a badge. He called himself the Beast, the number 666, straight from the book of Revelations, the very name his mother had once flung at him in anger. He cultivated a reputation for every kind of excess and darkness you could name, and he enjoyed every minute of horror it produced in respectable society. He became such a fixture of cultural imagination that the fascination with him long outlived him. Decades after his death, when the Beatles assembled the faces of the people they considered most significant to the century for the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Crowley is there in the back row, looking out at you. Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page was so taken with Crowley that he bought his old house on the shore of Loch Ness. Whatever else you say about the man, he left a mark on the world far deeper and long-lasting than a mere charlatan ever could. And that's the point that I want you to think about, because it'd be easy to write him off as a fraud or a madman just seeking attention. And plenty of people have done precisely that. But it's a mistake, and it's the mistake that makes the book dangerous to underestimate. Crowley was not stupid, and he was not deluded. He was Cambridge educated and incredibly well read, fluent in several languages, a published poet, and a mountaineer of genuine accomplishment, who attempted some of the highest peaks on earth and esoteric traditions, both East and West, more systematically than anybody of his time. This was a serious and disciplined mind, and underneath all of the theatrics and all of the provocation designed to
Before, gang, I ain't never heard of this guy, right? I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. I have never heard of this guy. To my knowledge, Crowley, he could be of an evil origin, of an evil species. At the end of the day, what I do know is if they got him down on record, they know of him. You know what I'm saying? They recognize his power, his potential, or whatever the case may be, because it seemed like everybody feared this man, right? It seemed like they feared him. It seemed like they knew something we might have not known. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really say they didn't. I can't say if they didn't. But it seemed like to me, he was, wicked. And not only just wicked, he knew something about some wicked magic or something like that. Seemed like this book could be about him being the founder of some type of wicked, evil magic at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm just shooting for right. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting for right because the way they explaining and getting into the story, they said he wasn't dumb. He didn't look too dumb. He just looked at evil as hell. If you ask me, he looked very evil. You know, I don't know what it could have been that possibly triggered him. Maybe he was turned off too much, like by people, by the society. Maybe the world didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, normalize him. Maybe they weren't trying to be his friend or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know what drive people into this wicked type of lifestyle. Definitely if they dealing with devil magic or something like that, if they dealing with demon magic, shit like that, and they working for the shadow side, the dark side, then that's a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look at it from all shapes, corners, angles, and values because like I said, they said he was intelligent, he spoke several different languages. Any motherfucker who got the time to take the time out their life to sit around and learn how to speak several different languages, you gotta be a intuitive motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. You gotta be very intuitive. Because ain't no way in hell you can find time to, speak this many different languages without being a little bit of sinister, without being a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, evil on the inside. Like, goddamn, where do you find all this time? And hopefully at the time of finding out how to speak all these goddamn different languages, wasn't the time that they was figuring out all these sinister wicked magic type of spells. And the only reason I'm doing it like that is not because I don't believe it, but I'm just saying some of y'all don't, so I got to do it like that for y'all. You understand?
That sits at the root of everything I talk about on this channel. He just stripped all the comfort and reassurance away from it. So what Crowley understood underneath all the costumes and controversy is that the thing that we call manifestation is real, and it operates to a law. His famous definition of his life's work was the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. Just read that again. Causing change to the outer world by disciplined and trained mind. And that's it. That's all there is. Take away the robes, the ritual, the incense, and the shocking reputation, and he's describing exactly what Neville Goddard described, exactly what the Hermetic writers described, and what every teacher in this entire tradition has ever described. Your inner state is the cause, and your outer experience is the effect. Crowley knew this with unflinching clarity, and he built his entire life upon it. He spent years deliberately training, disciplining his attention and his imagination to a degree most people never attempt. He treated his mind the way an athlete treats their body, and he got results, real ones, which is why he never lost his conviction and never stopped. The man was not playing make-believe. He tested the principle over and over and watched it deliver. And here's where it all turns, because this is the part that most teachings very carefully avoid. The law that does all of this doesn't have a morality. It's not sitting in judgment, waiting to see if your intentions are kind before it decides whether to respond. It doesn't reward the virtuous and withhold from the wicked. It simply takes what you genuinely believe to be true and sets about making it your reality. And that is all it does. Crowley proved this with his own life, as thoroughly as anyone has. He aimed that discipline and understanding at things most of us would regard as objectively dark, and it worked for him. Not because the universe approved of him, not because some force was rewarding his cruelty, but because the law has no opinion on what content you give it. It's as neutral as electricity. Electricity will warm a child's bedroom, and it will kill a man in an instant, and it feels nothing either way, because it is a force and not a judge. Water will carry your boat, or it will drown you with the very same indifference. And the law that shapes your reality from your inner state is exactly like this. It's a force of nature, not a moral guardian. It runs the same for a saint as it does for a sinner. It all depends what you're going to feed it. So the real warning behind
Now that message right there alone was very deep. You know what I'm saying? I do gotta say that it was very deep because you gotta understand what they mean. Your inner state creates the very effect of your outer state. How many of y'all understand that? If you don't, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it because at the end of the day, I'm here for that. My podcast is here for that to help you understand that your inner state creates your outer effect. Whatever you're feeling on the inside of yourself will create the effect of that feeling on the outside, on the 3D physical outside world that you live in, gang. I tell so many people this, so many times that at the end of the day, gang, you do shape your reality. You are the calm and the storm at the same time. And I don't be thinking nobody hear me. You understand? When you think positive or you think great things or you think greatness or you think you already won, usually that's the outcome you receive. Now, if you sit up all day and you think that you haven't won, you just disbelieving in yourself, you feel me? You throwing negative manifestation advice or manifestation affirmations out there every day to yourself. Gang, only thing you doing to yourself is killing yourself. A man is what he think of. So if that's what you think of yourself, or if you think you are unworthy of $1 million, you think you're unworthy of a new home or a new car, then that's what the universe is picking up from your vibration. The universe is picking that very feeling up from your vibration, not the thought that you want this shit, but the feeling of you don't deserve it, or the feeling of you're not worthy of it. The goddamn universe is picking that up, and that right there is drowning your success. It is taking you to the bottom, at the highest rate of speed ever. And I don't think a lot of people know this. So, usually what I like to do is, like I said on my podcast, I do like to come on this motherfucker and pop that shit. Definitely when these stream channels ain't hating on me and telling me, oh, I overran my time. Well, look, that's what I'm here for. You hear me? I'm here for that. You better believe that. And when I come, I'm gonna make sure I drop jewels and gems every time, every video, right? No wasting time. So I feel like I said earlier, I tried to go live. It was acting fishy and funny, and I knew that was my guys telling me, yo, calm down, sit back, relax. We ain't ready for you to deliver that message yet. But at the end of the day, we're going to get to that message. I'm going to have to get to that message, right? I'm going to get to that message on top of this message that I'm delivering y'all right now. So let's keep going so we can get this one done out the way and we can move on, gang.
this book is nothing to do with demons or summoning forces that you can't control. The warning is far simpler and far more relevant to your everyday life. It's that the same principle that you're carefully trying to use to bring good things towards you is running at full power in every other direction too, all day, every day, whether you're paying the slightest attention to it or not. Manifestation isn't something you switch on for 10 minutes when you sit down to visualize and then switch it off when you get on with your day. It doesn't work like that. It never stops and it can't stop. You're doing it every single waking moment with whatever your mind happens to be resting on. The state you inhabit for most of your hours is the state that's being made real. And here's the trouble for most of us. No one ever told us this. So we give 10 devoted minutes a day to deliberately imagining the life that we want, and then we hand over the other 15 waking hours to worrying grievance, rehearsing the worst, and assuming that it probably won't work out. And then we stand back genuinely baffled and wondering why the worst keeps turning up on our door. The law hasn't failed you. It's working perfectly. It's always working perfectly. It's that you spend 10 minutes instructing it in one direction and 15 hours instructing it in the other. And the arithmetic of that is simply never going to be in your favor. You were not failing to manifest. You were manifesting magnificently. You were just pouring all of your power into the very things that you were afraid of. So I have to be honest with you, the time that we're living in now, this is harder than it ever has been. We walk around with devices in our pockets that keep us on a loop. The very worst things happening anywhere on the surface of the planet, every hour, every day. War, financial fear, division of every kind, the relentless suggestion that everything is getting worse, that the people around us are turning on one another. And whatever your personal view is about any of these issues, you can't seriously deny that the dominant note being played in our mind, hour after hour, is fear. It never once lets go. And here's the most devastating part. Fear is easy to believe. It slides in without resistance. It feels realistic. It feels mature. It feels responsible to assume the worst and brace for it. Believing in something genuinely good for yourself, by contrast, feels naive, childish, embarrassing, like something you should have grown out of. So the negative state goes in, completely unopposed, with no resistance. And the Lord does with it precisely what it does with anything how, that consistently and that effortlessly. It hardens into our lived experience. This is the modern day version of Crowley's danger, and in some small way, it's more dangerous than his. Because Crowley, whatever else he was, chose his darkness deliberately, with his eyes fully open and his understanding complete. Most of us today are choosing ours by default, with no understanding at all, simply by leaving our attention plugged into the machine that has been carefully engineered to keep us anxious, because our anxiety is profitable to someone else. But the law can't tell the difference between darkness that you've selected on purpose and one that you've absorbed through a screen. It feels no difference between the fear you choose and the fear that was installed in you while you weren't looking. It only knows what you're holding. And right now, most of us are holding dread and calling it being informed. So here's the reality. What really understood and weaponized. One thing I'm pleading to do, step. I don't say to show anybody. Very clear about that, because almost everything you've absorbed
My bad, family. I had to pause that and restart that because StreamYard started to act up a little. And I might even take it back just a few seconds because I understand what he's saying. I hope everybody out there was sort of understanding what he's saying because the video was in flow, right? And it's basically saying that however you feel on the inside is gonna create the effect on your outside and make it happen fast. So a lot of us, we have a hard time feeling like today is great. We have a hard time feeling like everything is working out for us until we see things work out for us, right? That's the craziest thing, in life. Even myself, I do it. I have a hard time, just feeling like, hey, yo, I already got that mansion, I already got that $1 million, I already got that record deal, I already got whatever it is that I think I wanted, or whatever it is that'll keep me happy in that bay. I already got it. And I think that's the hardest part right now, living in the world we live in. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they used to the distraction around them, they used to the dysfunction, they used to the destabilization around them. And at that very point and at that very moment in life, they choose to only see that and recognize that. They choose to only understand that. And they understand that at face value. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I get what they're saying. But, now the true tester is, can somebody do that? Can somebody be willing to, what I'm saying, challenge themselves and make that official within themselves? You know what I'm saying? And become enlightened with the enlightened notes or the enlightened wisdom, you know what I'm saying, of becoming your higher self. Because to me, that's your higher self. Yeah, when you're able to manifest like that, that's your higher self. When you're able to pull things together like that with just your mind and using your intentions in your mind, that's your higher self. And a lot of people don't believe in that, just like a lot of people don't believe in magic. They don't believe in energy. They don't believe in frequency work. They don't believe in shadow energy work. They don't believe in anything. And to me, that's scary as hell. What the hell do you believe in? So honestly, you only believe in what you see. You see what I'm saying? Everything that you possibly got flowing in your mind can work out. Everything you possibly got going through your head at this very moment can happen. It can come true, or it already done came true. But it's up to you what you choose to put your energy and awareness on. You feel me? Let's dive back into this video.
About that, because almost everything you've absorbed, you've done so without consenting. You were handed your fears. You didn't ask for them. But the moment you understand this, the responsibility becomes yours, and it can't be handed back. So you have to become protective about what you allow yourself to dwell on, what you assume, what you rehearse in your mind, and what you accept and repeat to yourself as simply being the way things are. Because every bit of it is instruction. Every bit is being received without argument, without judgment, by something that will not debate with you and does not weigh up your worthiness. It simply takes what you give it and builds it, and it's always building. The only question that has ever mattered is, what are you handing it to build with?
I got one challenge for you. Try Whisper Flow once. One time. And I promise you'll understand why I haven't typed the
So for me, the real change came when I realized that I didn't have a manifesting problem. I had an attention problem. I'd been doing all the visualizing, the affirming, all the techniques faithfully, and then wondering in the background why on earth my life wasn't matching the effort I was putting in. And then it finally hit me. The small part of my day I was manifesting was completely wasted by what I spent the rest of my day thinking on. All those unguarded hours, spent in worry, grievance, the news. I'd never noticed the loop I was running. I was manifesting beautifully. My aim was excellent. I was just pointing it for most of the day at precisely the things I least wanted, and with far more conviction than I ever gave the things that I did. What turned it around for me wasn't more visualizing, just guarding those ordinary hours. Simply beginning to notice what I was letting in, what I was nodding along with, and what I was muttering to myself. The law is always on, it never sleeps, and it never pauses. The only question every hour, every day, is, what are you feeding it? So if you want to try something this week, don't change anything about what you normally do. Just watch what your mind does when it's left alone. Notice what you instinctively assume the second the news comes on. Notice what you brace for when your phone rings. Notice the story that you tell yourself about how the week is going and about how things tend to turn out. Don't fight it and don't judge it. Just see it clearly and honestly, because that running state underneath the practice is the one that's actually been shaping your life. And the moment you can genuinely see it for the first time, you can begin to change it. And that's it. The law was never the dangerous part, but being asleep to what you're feeding it is. Thank you for being here. I know this is probably longer than my usual video.
And ladies and gentlemen, that right there alone was a deep message. You feel me? That was a deep message, man. We gotta get another. Now I know it was a short one, but I don't want to give y'all the hour long one no more. I done gave y'all that. That's for if you're a real fan, then you can go back down my podcast and you probably can share that with the other fans, or the other family fans, and tell them and let them know. I done dropped so many gems in my vids, gang. Like y'all gotta go watch it, for real. Because I can't keep giving them to y'all like that. That's too easy. So at the end of the day, I got a lot more that I want to get into, right? I do. I want to get into a video that I seen earlier. Um, and 6ix9ine, it was I believe it was on his podcast, if I'm correct, right? And the main thing he was talking about was how Black people is sort of our own enemy. Now, don't get it twisted. I understood exactly where he was coming from. I understood exactly where he was coming from, and I'm sure a lot of other people out there, they gonna understand exactly where he was coming from, right? Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure there is. But I don't think a lot of us want to understand where he comes from. I'm surprised y'all clapped to that because, you know, when Remo was on the thing talking to him, he really wasn't trying to understand 6ix9ine and what he was saying. He wasn't hearing nothing he was saying. He wasn't hearing him. You know, he wasn't trying to give him a chance to speak. But basically, what he was saying was, shit, black people, y'all own enemy because y'all killing each other at the fastest rate ever. Every day y'all kill somebody. Every day you niggas catching 8 hats and 9 bodies and shit like that, and then y'all bragging about it. Like, what the fuck is y'all want to post class? That's a right. Thank you. You got it right. At the end of the day, like that shit ain't brag about like taking lives and making mothers, you know, mourn over their children and shit like that, killing innocent people, throwing bullets out there into the public. You feel me? Looking forward to anybody catching these motherfuckers. That wasn't permittable. You feel me? That was not permittable, gang. You niggas, I don't know where you niggas think that passed the code at. No. And then look, you know, my thing is though, Remo tried to argue with him, you know, about the shit he was talking about. Like, man, you gotta watch how you say that. And just that all this other fugazi ass shit. You know what I'm saying? That nobody was feeling. I definitely wasn't feeling. I wasn't trying to hear that shit. Like, boy, what you talking about? Let that man get his tools infused. Let him get his tools infused. Because at the end of the day, a lot of niggas ain't talking about this. A lot of people ain't talking about it. You know? Look at the little shorties. You want to be on camera. The white cat. A lot of people ain't nobody, definitely not the black people. Black people ain't talking about shit. You know, they ain't talking about shit, but who pregnant, who beefing, who doing what, who backdooring who. The same lame shit. Definitely in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? That shit been talked about and I don't know what these niggas on. But anyway, I found the video. I'm finna see if I can get this bitch up here real quick. Without it doing no fuck shit, right? Yeah. Let me let this commercial go on. Them commercials be crazy though, man. You know, I support they promotion, but another one, back to back. I just dive into this shit though, man. You know, because he finna get deep, right? So let me do this. Let me do this, man. Gang, here we is, man. Here we is. Hold up. Let's do this.
wanna talk about. In Chicago, and we're talking about Chicago. People die everywhere, but let's talk about Chicago, right? I'm from New York. People die in New York. Like there's 13-year-olds, 16-year-olds dying in New York. In Miami, I live here now. There's people dying too. But let's focus on Chicago. How many people died, would you say, from the 2012 era, 2011 era, right, to 2026? How many moms lost their sons?
Man,
A lot.
it'll be hundreds and hundreds.
A lot. What you mean, just from that era or all
Nah,
together? The whole
all
beat
together,
period?
just general and
As far as
period.
it's the drill culture.
Yeah.
Go.
How what would you say?
I would say hundreds.
Hundreds, maybe 1,000.
I would say
Huh?
hundreds.
Maybe like 1,000.
I would say
high hundreds.
High hundreds?
Yeah.
Would you say?
Just like the lost kids to the streets in that period. That sounds like a
Well,
lot.
I
to
think
me.
it's
say-
more.
I
I
could
think
say
it's. I think it's
that
more
I
than.
knew
I don't
from
think it's in the
that era
hundreds.
that I
Let's talk about the let's talk about the kids. Kids. Let's. I don't. People 6, but the names, right? We're talking about like the Newskis, the Wooskis, the I don't know their names,
Right.
but like the big names people, right? But what about the people that we don't even know their name that just are like they're casualties to the war, right?
Guilty by association.
This
That my bad, gang. I had a little bit of technical difficulties. At the end of the day, we finna get that video back up there, though. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We're gonna get it back up there. Right? Because I see where you're going, like I said. He talking about black people saying basically we kill each other so much that it don't make sense, which we do, gang. You know what I'm saying? We do, I gotta give him that. Getting that, and I don't think nobody wants to talk about that. That was the elephant in the room that he's speaking on, but let's keep on.
if I came in here with an attitude, or if I came here acting like not wanting to say nothing, I feel like it'll throw the whole energy of the mood off, because you get what you give out.
Yeah.
Right?
That energy.
It's just period. That's just the rule of life. You get what you. If I respect you, I expect you to. If I hit you, I expect you to hit me back. That's just life.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. First, go to Riverside and open an account.
Yo, you a Mexican and me looking at just Chicago, I don't see no other race killing off sons, brothers, fathers than black people.
You are so true.
But it's the elephant in the room is like, oh well, stay out our business.
No,
But I'm not saying you. I'm saying that's something that has to be addressed, because when I told Bank, I said, yo, why people like so hard on me? And he was like, 'cause you a Mexican. I said, well, who killed Pac? Who killed Biggie? Who killed Nipsey? Who killed Pop? Who killed Young Dolph? Who killed XXX? Who killed just another black man? But who betrayed 6ix9ine? Who bit the hand that fed? Who bit the hand that fed all these people? Everybody around me was black. So my thing was, and it's like the truth hurts so much that it's like right message, wrong messenger. No, it's the way you say it. No, let's focus on facts.
Yo, he had one of the grandest points right there, right? Because like I said, I did a live on this, and the live was fucking up earlier. It was the same shit. It was fucking up earlier, trying to throw me off, destabilize me. And at the end of the day, I said that he had a point. Black people, we don't want to sit in the room and we don't want to talk about where we fuck up at. Like when Day Go killed Tay. You feel me? Tay family, you feel me? They be looking for answers, but Day family don't want to give them. They be talking about we keeping the no snitching code. You feel me? We ain't telling. We ain't doing no talking to no police. We ain't doing all that. You know, that's the code they give. Like, I know that's what they should have get a boo, but at the end of the day, I'm like, where do that shit reside at? Like, who pushed that narrative in life? Who really pushed that narrative? You know, who promoting, you know, killing another motherfucker and taking them away from their children? And then when it come down to y'all and y'all lives, y'all don't want to get killed. You don't want nobody to come take you away from your family. You don't want nobody to come harm you. You want everybody to be your friend and come all on your block. You feel me? You want motherfuckers all over there in your area barbecuing and shit, spending money with you and your kids and shit like that. Like, what type of shit is that? You know, I look at these niggas like that every day, and like he said, that's the elephant in the room. Black people, we killing each other at an all-time high rate. You know, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it's getting so bad right now, my nigga, to where they want to block us from going downtown. You feel me? Definitely after that little shooting downtown where them weak ass niggas killed dog. You feel me? And then niggas go back downtown doing shootings on Brady Street and shit like that. Like the world ain't trying to live. Cause you niggas trying to beef. You niggas better take that shit out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my nigga. Move that shit somewhere else where it's just beef all out. You feel me? Where it's an all out war zone on smoke. And anybody you can get into it with. You feel me? Like, I heard a lady speak about this on the radio. She was talking about, well, you know, why can't we be like West Dallas and move these motherfuckers out our city? Why can't we have them removed from our city and put them somewhere else, gang? And I was like, damn, that's a good ass idea. You know, that wouldn't be bad. That's a great idea. Move them around, all the killers, all the thuggish, the super thugsters, the niggas, the toughest, the niggas who ain't out here doing nothing. They ain't content creators. They not on YouTube promoting positivity or nothing. They ain't in the street promoting positivity. Move their ass to an area where it's nothing but war and violence. Shit, send their ass to the war. How about that? Most people look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm not though. Like, my nigga, that's black fatigue. Sometimes other black people around the world, we get tired of our own people doing dumbass shit. We get tired of our own people entertaining dumbass shit too. Just like when it's shootings and when it's fights, black people be some of the first motherfuckers to pull their phones out. Now they got every other culture and race following them, doing the same goddamn thing. That's all we known for. You feel me? And that's the only thing he's saying. Like he said, it's the right message but wrong messenger. That's the only thing he's saying. Now, that's why I said I've been saying this shit on my podcast for a minute, and ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. But you let another race say it, they gonna try to start a race war with them. Because if you look in the comments of this video, gang, I ain't gonna lie to you, everybody started You feel me? Talking about point at the Mexicans. What about the Mexican cartel? That's not the fucking point of the message. The fucking point of the message is that black people, y'all do kill each other so much that y'all are the problem. If anything, if they was to remove a race off of planet Earth, or if they was to remove a race from Wisconsin or any state, they'll remove black people first. You better believe that. The Mexicans working like a motherfucker. They building shit for their families and themselves. Our people over here complaining, stealing, thieving, taking shit that ain't ours. You hear me? Crying about the help that's already given inside the community. And then, you feel me, once you do accept the help after you cried about it, you still cry about it and bitch about it at the end of the day. Like, what type of shit is that?
Let's stop being dumb. It's like, oh, but you know what you signed up? Why you gonna take the 47 years? Because I'm not gonna be stupid for you. Like, I'm not. If you're not giving me loyalty, I will never sit down 47. Oh, but you know what you signed up for? Yeah, I signed up for being real with my niggas. Even I was setting kicker, like the song. I'm like,
hey, young niggas, don't ever let them fool you with that. You know what you signed up for, nigga. When signed up for what, nigga? You niggas ain't got shit to offer when niggas sign up for anything. Definitely not in no game. Definitely not in no game. We see what happened with Durkio niggas. Durkio niggas went down. Everybody, they celebrating he finna come on. Don't nobody really get no fuck because the example he still showed, my nigga, to the world was still pussy. That was one of the weakest examples you can show to the world. Definitely when you get millions of dollars and then you put your dumb ass self in a situation like that, my nigga. And ain't that's the reason you got up out the motherfucking hood? If that was the case, they could have passed that money to me or something for my raps, nigga, instead of your shit. You talking about you, the voice? Hell no, nigga. They could have paid me and then it would have been good. And you could have stayed your bum ass in the hood, right? Real shit, like niggas be thinking paying the money to go get niggas hit and get niggas knocked off, like that shit cool. That shit ain't gravy, nigga. The universe still got to see that shit, and then you still got to pay for that shit in the long run. That's the crazy part. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I feel a lot of you niggas already know that though. So you feel me? A lot of y'all give up on yourselves. And I think that's why you niggas be in positions y'all in. You already gave up on your life. You gave up on yourself when somebody you probably looked up to gave up on you. And I think that was the saddest thing for you. That was the saddest thing you could do. You gave up on yourself when somebody else you used to look up to gave up on you. Or they gave up on themselves. Now you lost hope. You feel me? Like, it's a lot of niggas around here like that, man. Definitely the younger crowd. You young men out there, man, y'all got to look up to somebody and grab somebody that can teach you some knowledge. All them niggas out there that you riding around with, they got packs, making you hold they packs, you serving for them and shit, nigga. Stop fucking with them niggas. Them niggas gonna get you locked up. Simple as that. Them niggas don't get no fuck about you. They don't get two shits about you, nigga. And they willing to use you. And they willing to show you that they'll use you. You feel me? Treating you just like one of them dumbass hoes out there. One of them dumbass bitches. Because a real woman don't get treated like that. And real men don't get treated like that. Real kings and queens, you feel me? They know how to separate themselves, isolate themselves, and start building their own shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's what the fuck it's about, building your own shit. But let's keep going, though, because I want y'all really to, hear this. Let's dive.
I if I had to take my time and I did on the lie detector test, I would have took it. If they didn't backdoor me. But the haters watching this right now, the truth just is so it hits them in their chest so much that's the thing. There's no in black culture. You
gotta watch how you say that though, because like.
No, you can't watch how you say it because I feel like this is why the game is so fucked.
But in a way, hold on, let me say this.
Let me say this.
Hold on, you made a point.
Remo.
Now, why do he gotta watch how he say that part about the black people? Right? Remo get a boo because if Remo was 100%, you feel me, real black, authentic nigga, he wouldn't mind what the fuck he gonna say because nigga, you know who you is, you know where you stand, you know what type of nigga you are, you know the man you are. Now, whatever he's saying is what he's saying. That's his opinion. And that's the thing, too. If we all got opinions, why the fuck do everybody always get upset when somebody get the ringing on their opinion? You can't do that, gang. You can't get upset because somebody ringing in on their opinion. Y'all ring in on everything around the world. No jumper. But we ain't finna point the finger. My thing is, though, Remo should have just sat back and let him, you feel me, did his thing. Just observe Remo. But Remo want to argue about the wrong points. And I was saying that earlier in my life. That's why I dislike Remo. He argue about the wrong shit, man. Like he a fucking fourth grader when it comes to this podcast and shit. Yeah, he don't get it twisted. Yeah, he might connect Adam 22 with a lot of black niggas, but at the end of the day, I'm starting to believe that a lot of black niggas is getting weary of Remo. Because look at how he act. He played both sides of the fence sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? And then when he get on the podcast, he get to asking you kindergarten ass questions or get to playing dumb like he don't understand. You feel me? The politics and the business of the game out here in the streets game. That's the crazy part. But let's listen. Let's listen.
Remo,
but you said all right, hold on. I want to untouch on.
Listen here.
Remo, but let's dissect it. Let's break it down. Cause I'm never the type like and
disrespectful to the women. Shayna, hey, they didn't even let her speak. She was trying to talk. They just talked all over it. That was about 6'9", you both. Come on.
Oh, all right, I'm never the type to be like, oh. But you know my situation off camera. Like off camera, you know, I don't even want to get there because it looks like I don't have to say that. Y'all know my body.
Right, but
like,
this,
you know what I mean?
This the thing I'll say though, when it comes, because you saying like you making it seem like all black people biting.
No, not all. Oh, not all.
Like your right hand, you was fucking with back in the day wasn't really your in the first place. So that is more, it ain't more of a black thing.
Take me out.
You were more loyal.
No.
So
yeah,
why
I'm
should
more,
you be loyal?
I don't feel like it was more of a black thing.
That's
though.
So take me out. Take me out. We're talking about culturally. Take
like you contributed. You contributed. You feel me? Not necessarily, Remo. He didn't. You know, necessarily he didn't. He didn't contribute to shit. This shit was taking place way before he came along. A lot of this shit was. You feel me? A lot of this shit in the game was taking place way before he came along. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, he just probably played a part, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. And he right. That's the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that black people is our own enemy at this point. Right now, my nigga, like I told y'all before, when I walk out my motherfucking front door, I don't worry about no Chinese man robbing me. You hear me? That ain't something I worry about. I ain't worry about that. I ain't worry about no white man running up on me, robbing me. They might ask for $1 or $2 because they homeless and shit on our, you know, Milwaukee, Wisconsin streets. But at the end of the day, I ain't worried about them robbing me. Feel me? The only motherfucker I'm worried about robbing me, and y'all know who. Let's play guess what race it is. Can you guess what race it is? The only motherfucker I'm worried about robbing me. A black man. Yeah, I know. Boot all you want to. A black man, though. Because that's the motherfuckers out here who eyeing and stalking on their own kind. They preying on their own kind. The people that's their color. They preying on them. They going to the hoods of Milwaukee, of racing, of whatever local city that, you feel me, we could be from Green Bay. Y'all heard Q50 said they was up here in Milwaukee. They doing hits and murders in Milwaukee. At the end of the day, you know, motherfuckers come up here and they think it's sweet and they take lives like taking lives is sweet. You niggas don't got the right to take a life. You niggas don't control to say so on live. That's why that karma got to catch up with you niggas. You understand what I'm saying? It do. It definitely do. Y'all know it do. Y'all know it do, man. Like I said, y'all really do. At the end of the day, gang, I ain't finna give y'all the whole 6ix9ine story. If you want to watch that, you can go to his channel and watch it. But man, make sure you hit that like button if this video resonated with you, if you can relate to it. Hit that subscribe button, share it, you feel me, on all your major platforms. And just think about it. Black people, is it more that we can do, you know, so it don't feel like we are our own enemy? So it don't look like that to the public, but not only look it to the public, but feel like it to us. Because man, we gotta wake the fuck up. You feel me? If you look around you, every other culture, they sticking together. Every other culture, they doing what the fuck they gotta do for one another, and they making sure the ends meet. So what is we gonna do, black people? We're gonna stick together. We're gonna stay being our own enemy. Y'all let me know. I love y'all. Out.